Hi, my name is Kobe Forsyth, and this is my mom, acting as my audience member. And so, have you ever wondered why some athletes are so good at their sports? Typically, it has to do with their anatomy and how their body is structured. There are two types of muscle fibers that can help athletes in their individual sports. According to nerdfitness.com, most regular average people have a mixture of both half fast twitch muscle fibers and half slow twitch muscle fibers. So what's the difference between these two? Why do we need to know this? So fast twitch muscle fibers are typically for power lifters and sprinters, people that do plyometrics, weightlifting, and sprinting. They're more dense muscle fibers and they use less oxygen. They use quick bursts of energy that allow athletes to have more power. They don't use oxygen. Slow twitch muscle fibers are used for people that go through cycling events, swimming, and endurance events. They use a lot more oxygen and they're typically less dense muscle fibers. So, this visual aid that we get from Harry Newman Fitness, see here, it shows a long distance runner here, and they have a smaller body composition with less muscle, where the sprinter here has bigger muscle and more power. He's able to go faster. Now, the endurance runner is able to run for longer periods of time because he uses more oxygen, but his muscles are not as strong. Where the long distance or the sprinting runner is able to run for shorter periods of time but have a lot more power. So, when athletes are training and trainers are training to get these muscles, they must know how to build these muscles. So I myself have done a lot of working out, and I recently wrote an essay over this and done lots of research. So according to bodybuilding.com, when you're building muscle, you work your muscle, and there's 3 phases of working it. So you have the concentric, or the contraction of the muscle. Then you have the isometric, which is at the peak of the contraction. And then you have the eccentric, or the elongating of the muscle fibers. Now, during this process, your muscles are broken down, and your muscles undergo muscle hypertrophy. So what this means is that your fast twitch or slow twitch muscle fibers are broken down. And when they're broken down, your body rebuilds and repairs them to compensate for the amount of force needed to do the exercise. So it will actually rebuild the muscles bigger than before. And so this is how muscles are built. As athletes do exercises and run and work out, their muscles are torn down and rebuilt. So when you're using endurance exercises, you're using a lot of contractions, but you're using a lot of oxygen. So your muscles are constantly using and rebuilding slow twitch muscle fibers. Now, during fast twitch muscle fiber exercises, your body is undergoing a lot of exercise without oxygen. And so it's using a lot of strength and short burst exercises. It's using a lot of power, and it's creating a lot of wear and tear in your muscles. So your muscles need to be able to compensate for that, so they're built much bigger. That is why that power and sprinters are much bigger, because they have a lot more wear on their muscles and they need bigger and more power. So, conclusively, athletes, while they're training, need to know the difference between the two so that they can better prepare themselves to train their muscles to be better for each exercise. Using the different techniques and being able to build helps them. And so this is what I use to gain the extra advantage over my competition.